Yo guys, this is TNN and I'm going to teach you how to install a GPS tracker on your car the cheapest way possible and the easiest way possible, and it's all to do with this one product, bang, the Samsung Galaxy SmartTag Plus. Now there is a SmartTag non-plus version, there is just a normal version, but the Plus has something called ultra wide bandwidth, and that is what the AirTags have as well. And what that uses is it uses other Samsung devices nearby. So the Apple one uses other Apple devices and the Samsung one uses other Samsung devices. So if someone with a Samsung device walks past your AirTag, it will send a signal to their Samsung phone or their Apple phone, and their phone will then get the GPS of this one, and then they will send it to the internet or the cloud, and then that will then send to your phone, and that's how you receive it. So no matter where you are, the way this one works is if a Galaxy device, if a Samsung device is nearby, and the Apple one, if the Apple AirTags, if an Apple device is nearby, that is how it picks up the location. And when you really think about it, there are millions and millions of Samsung devices and Apple devices nearby. But if your car gets stolen and taken to a really, really derelict place where there's no one nearby, then it won't be able to track it that well at all, maybe show nothing, but it will show the last location that it picked up. And that last location will be where someone with a Samsung device was driving nearby or walking nearby, or where it was parked up and someone with a Samsung device was nearby. So that's how this works. It's not as efficient, so do bear in mind this isn't made for tracking cars. It's not as efficient on GPS tracking cars, but it is the cheapest way, and it is better than nothing. It's at least something you have, especially if you're in a city. Your car is more likely to be stolen, and it won't be taken far in most cities. So in my area in London, when thefts happen, the cars don't get taken to derelict areas, and they're quite easy to and quickly to track, as long as you find out the car's been stolen pretty quick. Only downside is you do need to help people have Samsung devices nearby and they are walking near the car, because that's the only way you'll pick it up. That's the same with the Apple ones as well. And the only other downside is this device only works with Samsung phones. So it's not like you can buy a Xiaomi phone or any old Android phone or even an iPhone and download the app for this and just set it up. No. You need a Samsung device in order to set this up. But let's go ahead and let's have a look at it anyway. It comes in this really cool small package. I believe the batteries inside are the CR2032 batteries. Super easy to change. We do have a quick start guide, some paperwork on this side, and we have the actual tag here. Not really much else to it. The tag is super thin. I'd say that's pretty damn thin. Quite nicely designed as well. I do like the way they've designed it. It looks a bit less, like it stands less out, because I feel like the Apple AirTags stand out a bit more. These is a bit more discreet, low-key looking, more able to stash somewhere in the car, hide it, and also be able to track it without no one finding out that there was a tracker in the car. So this is it. Like I said, it only works with Samsung devices, so that is the biggest downfall for this one. If it was open to work on all Android devices, Samsung would sell so many of these, but it's because they want to sort of keep you in that Samsung, what is it, like Samsung lifestyle, Samsung circle. They want you to keep it in that, and they make you, if you want one of these, they make you buy a Samsung phone, which is a bit of a downside. But we're going to go ahead and fit this to the car. I'm going to show you different places you can put it, where it's harder to find. It all varies on different cars as well. And this is the best way to have a car tracker and the cheapest way to do it as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we have the car that we're going to use to hide. I would recommend hiding it inside the car rather than outside the car. It's probably a lot better way as well. So a lot of people think putting it in the glove box is a good spot. That is probably one of the worst spots to put it in, because if someone steals your car, the first thing they're going to look for is there a tracker on the car, and they'll probably open the glove box and see if there is one in there. I wouldn't recommend putting it in the glove box. There are multiple places you can put it in. I'd probably recommend the best places would be, some cars have a panel here that you can take off. This one has vents, so not on this one, but you can just pull this panel off and you can put it in there. Maybe cable tie it to a wire or one of the systems inside of here, and then you can put the panel back on, and that would be a good way to hide it. Another good place to hide it would be in this pillar over here. So if you don't have airbag written on here, which means you don't have an airbag here, I would take this off. You can simply just put your nails here, pull this off, put it in there, again cable tie it somewhere, attach it on something, and then put it back on. Another good place would be up here underneath the mirror. Again, this is just a clip. We've got Hasbulla over here saying hello. This is just a clip. You can just unclip this, put it inside there, clip this back on. I'd recommend underneath the carpet as well. You can peel the carpet off by taking this seal off here, and you can put it underneath the carpet there as well. That's a really good spot where no one would look. Or underneath here, underneath this carpet here. Some vehicles have spaces underneath here, which is underneath the steering wheel. You can hide it in there as well. I would not, again, recommend putting in compartments like this or compartments underneath the seats. There is a good spot underneath the seats you can attach it to. Like I said, you've got a good thing about these is that they have the keyring. The Apple AirTags, you have to buy a case to put the keyring thing on. They don't really come with a keyring like that. Like I said, so you can cable tie it underneath the seat, on cables, on hooks, on metal bars that are underneath there. Really good spot to cable tie it, really good spot to hide these. You can also take apart these, but it's probably a little bit more complicated on some cars. Some cars may be easy. If you have a manual and you have the leather stick, you can sort of grab onto the leather clipping, the leather trim. You can lift that up and you can put it inside there and put that back down as well. So that's another good spot as well. That is for the front area really. You may have other spots in different model cars, but other than that, I would not recommend putting on any of the door bins or on the doors. Would not recommend putting in any compartments underneath or on the driver's side or passenger side. Would not recommend putting on anything like that. I would recommend hiding it more underneath actual trims. If you go onto the rear of the vehicle, there's not many spaces in the rear of the vehicle where you can hide it as well. Again, I'd probably recommend the carpets or under the seats. You can even put it under these seats as well. These seats can pull up. Most cars will have either tab here, or if you just yank it, it's on clips and you can just put it underneath there. That would be another good spot to put it. But again, on the back, not really many places. Like I said, don't put it on the outside of the car. Don't put it in the fuel cap. It's just not good places to put it. If we go ahead and unlock the boot. In the boot, there's some good places here. You can unclip these over here on the DS3 cross bag. It's a bit tricky. You do need your nails like that. And there's multiple places that you can hang it there on that wiring there. Hang it back, maybe back there. You can even just place it down here, put it on some sticky pad and place it down here. Make sure it doesn't move around. Really good places in the boot. Boot is another good place where, you know, if someone's stealing the car, they may not actually go look at the boot. They'll probably go look straight around the driver's area, around the front, and then they'll just continue on with taking the car. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in somewhere inside my car. I'm not really going to tell you guys where I put it, because if I decide to keep it there, I don't want someone to steal my car and know where I put the tracker. So I'm going to hide it somewhere in my car, and then we're going to test it out and see how effective it is, how well it works, and if it tracks really well. Right, so I have added the SmartTag to the app. It is the Samsung SmartThings app, and this is my dad's Samsung phone. So we're going to go ahead and give this phone to my dad, and I've actually set it as a car as well. So I called it a car, put a picture of a car, and I called it the DS3 because the car's a DS3 crossback. And of course we have here, so we can view the map here. We can let the tag find my phone, but obviously I'm using it as a car tracker instead of like a key tracker, so we don't need that on. And you can turn lights on with your tag as well. You can do loads of things with it. We don't really need the volume high either, because you don't actually need it to make noise. You actually want it to make less noise. So what we're going to do is, this is literally the app. It's really simple, really easy to set up your tag. But I'm going to give this to my dad. I'm going to let him look at the map. I'm going to go for a drive. I'm not going to tell him where I'm going. I'm just going to go for a drive. And we're going to see if he can pick up where I'm going. When I come back, I'm going to ask him and see, does he know where I was? And if he says the right answer, it means the tracker's doing a good job. So we're going to go ahead and do that test right now. So I'm going to give the phone to my dad. I'm going to go for a drive, and we're going to see if he can pick up where I was going. Right, so we're in the car. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to go for a drive somewhere. Turn the music down. I'm going to go for a drive somewhere, and we're going to see if I'm going to pull over somewhere. I'm going to message my dad and say, have a look and see where I am. and we'll see if he knows where I am and if he gets it right. We're going to do that a few times, and yeah, we'll see how he gets on. Right, so we've safely pulled over at one spot. It's just a residential area, and I'm going to go ahead and message him, and yeah, we'll see how he gets on in spot number 1 and see if he can figure out where I am. So I'm going to go message him now, and we're going to see what he says. He'll send us a screenshot as well of what his map says, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're still at this spot. Just heard back from my dad. It's not figured out exactly where I am, but it's roughly where I am. So it's literally like probably like a minute away where I just drove, literally just down the road from where I turned into this road. That was the last location it picked me up. So that was probably the last Samsung device it picked up nearby as well. So we're going to go into spot 2. So it didn't do too bad. I'd give it a score of probably 5 out of 10. It didn't do too bad. At least it sort of narrows down where the car may be as well. So you would look around a certain area. But let's go on to our next spot and see how accurate it is there. So we are at spot number 2. A bit of a busier spot. There'll be some people around here. There's some shops here. There's a school nearby. The first spot we went to was actually known for quite a bad cell signal. So it doesn't have the best cell signal, and it was more of a quiet residential area. So we're now in a bit more of a busy area where a few shops are, a few people walking around, a few cars driving by. I'm going to message my dad now. We're going to see if he can pick up where I am now. Okay, so it took a while to update. It did take probably about 5 minutes, maybe up to 10 minutes, 8 minutes. It took a while to update, but it did figure out where I was, and it actually got it pretty bang on as well. So I'm going to go to the next location. Next location is quite a quiet spot, not really many houses nearby, so we'll see if it picks up there. So I'm at the final spot. Nothing really nearby. There's a forest over there and a cemetery on this side. Yeah, there's nothing absolutely here. A few houses down there, but I'm not too sure if this will pick up anything at all. So let's see how it does. So just got off the phone with him, and it actually managed to get it bang on where I am. Yeah, pretty good actually. He said the road, he said exactly where I am, and it's pretty right. So it did take a lot of time, a bit of delay to sort of load up and figure out where I am. But once it picks up a Galaxy device nearby in its last location, it then finds out where you are. And for a cheap tracker, it's really cheap, for around 20 to 30 pounds. That's really cheap for a car tracker. Car trackers can cost up to about 500 pounds, 300 pounds easy to get one installed. So for a cheap tracker, you get a good year battery from it as well, and you can easily change the battery yourself. I think it's a pretty decent device, to be fair. Let me grab it out. It's a pretty decent device, to be fair, for a cheap tracker. Let's turn the lights on in here. Not too bad. Easy, simple, anyone can do it. Only downside is you need a Samsung device, and there's a delay, because the only way it picks things up is when a Samsung device walks past it or goes past the car or the tracker, and that's the only way it picks it up. So that is the only downside, but other than that, it's pretty good, pretty accurate. But I wish it could just be open to all Android devices and even iOS devices. This device would definitely sell out. It will probably outsell the Apple AirTag as well, but Samsung just really need to open it up to all devices. So overall score, I'm going to give it, as a product, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. As a car tracker, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's a good cheap alternative. I wouldn't rely fully on it, but it's better than nothing. So thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in purchasing these, I'll put a link down below in the description. You can get them on Amazon, on Argos, Currys. You can get it all over the place. Walmart, Samsung.com, all over the place. So yeah, I'll put a link down for Amazon down below in the description. So if you are interested in purchasing it, you can do. And yeah, that is it from this video. Thanks for watching. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.